On the very day of my wedding, my sister Regina rushed out from the crowd, grabbed a knife, and stabbed it through my heart. 3 years ago, I was adopted by a regular family. My younger sister Regina Capasso was taken in by a Mafia don, resulting in her becoming the principessa of Italia's most powerful Mafia family. Unexpectedly, Regina is cast out by the don in her first month of getting adopted. I, on the other hand, got into a prestigious university thanks to my good grades. I rose to fame in the AI industry, married my adoptive brother, Daria Bivana, and lived a happy life. But to Regina, my happiness was nothing but irony. My wedding, my life, all of it was completely destroyed by her jealousy. When I opened my eyes again, I had been reborn to the day we were adopted. Regina made a decision completely different from her previous life. She rushed into Dario's arms while gazing at me gloatingly. You should have a taste of what it feels like to be a principessa, Livia. It turned out that she was also reborn. I looked at Dario, my husband in my last life, expecting him to say something, but instead, he shielded Regina like a prized possession. His cold gaze turned to me.
Stay away from my sister.
Dario had no memories of his last life. To him, I was just a stranger. Just then, the Rolls-Royce sent by the Mafia family stopped in front of me. The butler opened the rear door and invited me to get in.
Signorina, please get in the car.
In our last life, when we had to choose, Regina had eagerly hopped into the Rolls-Royce. She had turned around and said to me, smiling, Livia, I'll be the principessa. You go live that poor life. I'm still too young for that kind of life. You'll suffer for me, right? But this time, she linked arms with Dario and watched smugly as I got into this Rolls-Royce. I hope you can live a little longer in that cruel family. The car slowly started moving. The butler, sitting in the front seat, silently observed me through the rearview mirror. About 10 minutes into the drive, he passed me a file.
I'm the Vicconi family's butler. Here are some things to keep in mind when you get to Vicconi Estate. The Mafia is all about rules, so be careful not to step out of line.
I'll keep that in mind. The car soon arrived at Vicino Estate. I followed the butler into the luxurious mansion, which looked like a palace. Not far away, a tall man stood by the floor-to-clear window, his back to us. The butler stepped forward and bowed respectfully.
Don Virino, she's here.
The tall man turned around, a cup of coffee in his hand. His gaze swept over me, taking me in. His deep voice rang out as he sat down on the couch, waving me over.
Come here. What's your name?
Livia.
No need to change your name. Just take the Vicono surname. I'm your papa, Alano Vicino. From now on, this is your home.
He gestured to the beautiful woman by his side.
This is your mama, Imelda Totino. If you need anything, just tell her. Don't be shy.
Thank you, Papa, Mama. The butler took me to my room. As I stepped inside, I was instantly enveloped in a cocoon of warm pink. Everything in the room was on a level that most people could only dream of. And yet here I was, obtaining it all so effortlessly from my adoptive parents. I was smiling, daydreaming about the bright future ahead, when, suddenly, the door was kicked open with a loud bang. My brain froze as I turned around and saw a massive mastino charging towards me. Just as the mastino knocked me to the ground, I noticed a young man leaning lowsely against the doorframe. He was Pardo Vicino, Alana's only son, looking at me with disdain. The mastano he brought was known for its ferocity. In the Mafia world, it was often raised as a fighting dog. But now I was sitting up, holding the mastano in my lap. Pardo's expression shifted.
Why didn't Shadow attack you?
I smiled lightly. In my last life, to ensure my safety, I'd lived and slept with a mastino for years. What? I knew how to handle it better than Dario. I took some jerky out of my pocket and fed it to the dog, which then sat quietly, focused on chewing its treat, and then looked up at Pardo. Nice to meet you, Pardo. I'm Livia. Pardo's initial disdain turned into curiosity. After a while, he scoffed.
Shadow, let's go.
The next few days were hectic. I woke up every morning to run drills. The driver took me to the shooting range and boxing ring. Even after returning home, there were tutors to teach me about the family history and how to become a Mafia princess who is useful to the family. A month later, Melda gave me a satisfied smile.
You did great. Pardo has been thoroughly spoiled by his papa and me. He's quite naive, so I'll need you to guide him whenever necessary. Once he becomes the Don, you'll be the underboss. What do you think?
Without a moment of hesitation, I immediately responded, "Sure, Mama." Obviously, I had gained Imelda's approval. Imelda handed me a card, gave me a day off, and had the driver take me the city center to buy something I liked. As soon as I stepped out of the car, I spotted a familiar face, Regina. She was wearing a red and white mascot costume, holding the oversized mascot head with one hand, while using a flyer to wipe the sweat off her forehead with the other. Her pale face had turned bright red from the heat, yet her face was filled with happiness and pride. On this day in her previous life, she had been thrown out of the Vicino family, and had since lived a vagrant, miserable life. She naturally assumed that I was the one suffering these torments. A young man rushing towards her. It was Dario. He, too, was holding a thick stack of flyers. He hurried over to Regina and used the flyers to fan her.
Regina, are you okay? If you're tired, we can go home.
Hearing the concern in his voice, Regina weakly smiled. "I'm fine, Dario, but my poor sister isn't that lucky. Right now, she's probably been kicked out of the Vicino family, turned into a homeless beggar, wearing ragged clothes, and can't even afford a single meal. That's so poor." Just as Regina was sneering and knocking, she saw me, dressed in an elegant gown and carry a Hermès handbag. "Who was it you said was going to be a beggar, huh?"